Oh, good evening, everybody. And yeah, this is the TVG Sports Show. And this is where we chat everything Paul and Wellington sport. There's so many people doing their things in sport, and that's why we dedicate a full show for Paul and Wellington people, where we celebrate those that are doing amazing things. Yeah, for those that are just tuned in now, we have two distinguished guests as well for the show. We first have Juan de Jong. He doesn't really need any introduction. We are chatting to him about, yeah, a bit about his Wasps journey, and then also Stormers, and then he has his sideline now with the injury. We're going to chat to him about that, and then on the other side, we're going to speak to Walid Murat. He was very busy over the past weekend at the World Cup Sevens. I think it's probably a super exciting experience for him. We're going to chat to him about his experience at the Sevens. And then also, he's also got some masterclass referee, learn the laws, laws of the game. I want to chat to him a bit about that to find out more. But before we get to the guests, let's celebrate the people of Paarl and Wellington, and the achievements over the past week. Of course, first up we have Walid and Dylan Franke. They were both at the World Cup Sevens, both involved, and we're gonna chat to Walid a bit about his experience there. So congratulations to Walid and Dylan on the world stage. And then, Renfred, Teisel, Miller, Duplessis, they were players. They were on the field. And, of course, they didn't do as well as they expected to do. They came fifth. But it was also a farewell to the coach, Neil Powell. I mean, he's probably did the massive changes in sevens in South Africa. And then after those two, we have our guys that are touring in England. Of course, you saw due to the Queen's passing, they postponed the game in the past for the Friday and the Saturday that was passed in England. So Keegan, Charles, and Justin representing Paul for the Proteas. They are currently in England. They finished the game. They lost the last game, so that means they lost the series. But then they're on their way home on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. And then they are off to India for the end of the month. They're touring there. So well done to those guys representing Paul on the other side. And then the guy that doesn't really need any introduction on the village guy. I mean, I think I post about him every month. He's just doing amazing things. So his karate and his kumite. He was in Birmingham, England, at the Commonwealth Games for Karate Championships, and he came second with a silver medal. So that is pretty amazing. That's an achievement of note, probably a dream come true for him. So part of the local sports that's happening in Paarl and Wellington, I think all the sports are fully back in action with the season change spring. The local cricket season, we've got Paul, we've got Drakenstein Edu, we've got McQueeney, we've got Franschhoek. So there are various leagues. I was waiting for the fixtures tonight, but I didn't get it in time. It looks like their season is underway as well. They all play in the different Boland Premier Leagues, and Franschhoek also plays there. They are playing Saturday. I think Paul Cricket Club, I saw, is playing in Worcester on Saturday. So that's the only fixture I had. Like I said, if you guys know the fixtures, send it to me. Or WhatsApp it to me so I can maybe just look at the scores every weekend and see who's man of the match and who took all the wickets. And then the semi-finals this weekend at the Dal. So you of course know 2 weeks ago we had the Super 8, and the Super 8 team they had the semi-final. Semi-finals is happening this weekend at the Dal. So the Dal is fully back in action. Paarl Rangers, Young Gardens, Lower Paarl, and Young Standards. So they are the people in the semi-finals, and in the week after that they're playing the final. So let's get to the Dal because that's super exciting as always. Club rugby, and I went down this rabbit hole with Paul with Boland rugby, and I came up with this interesting stat and I didn't know it, so I'm busy going some fact finding with Boland rugby. Boland rugby represents the biggest geographical rugby area in South Africa, consisting more than 15,000 rugby players and 235 clubs. I spoke to someone at Boland Rugby in the week and I asked them, how do they manage the referees for all these matches? Because they probably have probably 25, 26 matches per week. So probably more. So he also said it's crazy, but we're trying to get hold of the new CEO, and he's probably going to be a guest here so we can chat a bit about Boland Rugby and what the future entails, because they're also growing. But that was all the updates, the movers and shakers. Congratulations, all of you. And then the local sports. So if you have any local sports you want us to feature here on the show, send it to us. You have the WhatsApp, you have the email, on the social medias. But let's get to the most important people. We're going to chat to Juan de Jong. I wanted to chat to him for a very, very long time. And Juan was overseas with the Wasps, and I couldn't get hold of him. And then he had a kid, and I still couldn't get hold of him. But now he's back. Now he's back home. And Juan, how are you, dude?
Good evening, Miles. I'm all good this side. Yeah, I've been begging you actually for a very long time to get onto the show. Finally made it. So thanks for the invite. Yeah, all good this side. Yeah, just very chilled and relaxed now. Obviously, I've got a little bit of a setback, but yeah, time to relax a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, so tell us a bit about the injury. Is it bad? Is it stage 1, stage 2,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, so actually, it's not that bad. We've played a couple of warm-up games. We played SVD down in George and the Sharks in P as well. So I injured myself in the first game. When it happened, it felt like a very long time, but luckily we had some good news with the specialist. So he basically said, "I've just got a grade 2 or grade 3 MCL injury. So I'm actually in crutches and a cast now. So cast is something that no one wants to be in, especially when it's your knee. So yeah, I've been struggling now for past couple of days now with this, but hopefully just in 2 weeks time the cast will get off, and in 6 more weeks I'll be in a brace, and hopefully I'll be back in like 9-ish weeks.
Okay, so is yours 2022 rugby done, or can you still play in 2022?
No, yeah, so I'll basically be back for 2022. So I'll miss the first couple of games. Yeah, obviously we had a massive preseason so far. We've been working really hard. Good to see the guys have been up and running and trying to get the stuff done. So yeah, hopefully I'll be back in pretty much 9 to 10 weeks. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, for you guys that don't know, I mean, Johan is a very decorated rugby player. I did some research. For those of you that don't know, I mean, he's got 19 international caps for South Africa. He's also played 63 tests, 63 games for the Wasps in England. I want to ask him a bit about that. And then he played for the Barbarians, got 2 caps there, 101, probably 100 and more than one for the Stormers because he's back here. He's even an Olympic bronze medalist for the Blitzbokke. Crazy. And also URC championship Stormers for last year and for this year is also super amazing. So, Johan, you're probably one of the most decorated SA rugby players currently, eh? I mean, you're actually a legend if you think of it.
I hope so. Yeah, I'm really blessed just to play this game for so long. I mean, I've started when I was like 18, 19 years old, and just just listening to you, reading all those accolades is really special and amazing for me to hear it. I mean, there's been a lot of hard work, a lot of sweat and tears that went into that. But at the end of the day, just to call yourself a Stormer, to call yourself a Springbok, to call yourself Olympic is actually fantastic as an achievement. So yeah, I've been working very hard to build a legacy, and hopefully I still have a couple more years in me. And I'm blessed to still play this game. So whenever God close the curtains on me, hopefully I'll be satisfied. Yeah. So it's just a working process for me every day. So yeah, I'm happy to enjoy it and happy to play it, and honored to God to give me healthy to doing this.
Yeah, and tell me, have you ever thought about what happens after rugby? I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah, so for me, I'm crazy about sport. I can't see myself actually inside the office and stuff like that. So I've been working really hard. Off the time when I was younger, I studied a bit of sport management and fitness, and I'm also studying a little bit of. I'm doing my sports science in strength and conditioning now as well. So that's also a long process. So anything in fitness, sport management, coaching, agency, everything that's all in a sportish bubble. And stuff that I've done throughout this year is stuff that I'm looking for. But for now, I'm fully focused on rugby for my last couple of seasons. But also, when you do have time at nights and stuff, just to keep on focusing on and making sure that you keep ticking the boxes and having your plans B and C's and D's in place.
Johan, tell us a bit about the Wasps experience. I mean, you've played there for 63 matches. That's, of course, a totally different type of environment of rugby because it's always cold there. How was that experience for you?
I must say 100% for me. When I went over, I was actually a little bit scared to go over because I was so used to being at the Stormers for 10 years. And then I made it a season just to challenge myself, go overseas, test the different environments, test the new cultures overseas. And it was quite an adjustment, especially with weather, with culture, with missing your family and friends and all those small little things. But you get used to it after a while. I mean, for me, I hate the cold weather when it's raining and stuff like that. I'm always an outdoor little kid trying to play golf and be outside and do things with friends and family. So it was a real adjustment for me, playing in those cold. But I must say I enjoyed it a lot. And there's a lot of, when I got there's a lot of South Africans like Nizam Kavali, Leroux, Ashley Johnson is still over that side. There's a couple of boys that was there that made it very easy for us, just easy for me and my family to settle in. at the end of the day, when not on the field but off the field as well, if you don't enjoy that, it's always going to be a long day at the office for you. And I must say, I really enjoy it. The last year, I was quite alone. I was the only South African in the UK. But overall, just to learn from all those experienced guys like Nathan Hughes, Jimmy Goffert, Danny Cipriani, to work with those boys and just to learn from them as well. And the small little details I can actually take not only in my rugby career, but even in my coaching and whatever my plan after rugby is, just to take that and share it with the youngsters. I mean, it's valuable experience that sometimes you're not always going to find it in your own career. And I was just blessed enough to work with all those boys, and I'm still working with a lot of those boys, especially the Stormers as well. But it's good for you just to go out there and just challenge yourself in all aspects. Put yourself out of your comfort zone, and that's the only way you can learn. So I really enjoyed my 4 years there, but I'm just happy to be back as well.
Yeah. And I mean, so you come to the Stormers, of course, you're a senior player now. And of course, now you see the youngsters come up the ranks. When you were younger as a rugby player in comparison to the younger player today, what are the differences? Of course, you see now, I wish I knew then what I knew now. What are the things you see in the younger players?
Yeah, I must say that this youngsters today is really experienced in terms of how they've grown and learned throughout the years. For me, like even in the squad now, you get a lot of youngsters, getting into the squad. Like when I started my career, there was only myself and one or two other guys, and you had to absorb so quickly throughout the years. Working with the likes of Luke Watson and Brayton Pauls and Kola Conradi. As soon as you get even like Gio Eplin as well, as soon as you get into the squad as well, it's guys that you looked up to like a couple of months ago, a couple of years ago, and just to take from them, it's always a great experience. It's not always sometimes what they teach you. It's about what you can steal with your eyes as well. And for me, I must say I've learned a lot. And to see these youngsters coming through, they've got a lot of experience as well. And the biggest thing about being a youngster is being coachable. And if you're being coachable and you want to absorb information and you want to take stuff and figure yourself out throughout your career, you actually have an inside lane in becoming successful and building your own legacy and reaching your dream. So it's good to see. Hopefully, I'm still going to be a couple of years, to bring the youngsters through and just give them the experience and give them the blueprint, and hopefully they can learn from my mistakes, because I mean, the career is only like 8 to 15 years career, but if there's not a lot of time for you to learn everything yourself. So it's good for the guys just to absorb experience, take everything in and just enjoy it, because that's the most important thing, because life in general goes past so quickly.
Yeah, 100%. So if what you know now, what would you have changed in your younger career of rugby?
I must say, when I was younger, I cared a lot about other people, what their opinion was of me. As you grow older, you kind of like put that to the side, because you kind of know an opinion for someone is says it, but sometimes 80%, 90% of the time doesn't mean it. So, and then you take that back home and work with that. So for my side, it's just to focus on yourself, make sure that you set yourself goals, have dreams, push yourself to the limits. And just focus on yourself, work with the guy in the mirror, and don't let other people's opinion and stuff push you down, because when I was like 18, 19 years old, I was at the rugby academy, and a lot of the time coaches and players would say, you will never become a Springbok because of my size. I was like 80 kgs playing in a 120 kg position, and those type of words sits, and it's just important for me to you kind of hear it, but at the end of the day, you must find a way and be strong enough mentally to push that to the side, and you just have a tunnel vision through what you achieve, and write your goals down, and make sure that every day of the week, every minute of a training session, that you keep pushing yourself to be the best, because those type of things pushes you, and when it comes to the end of your career, you can have a whole list of achievements, and that's the important thing.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So what does your rest of your 2022 year look like? So you're out for 9 weeks now, of course, rehab and everything. Stormers go on tour for the URC, because that's also starting end of the month.
Yeah, so for me, like even with my injury as well, like a lot of people was, I'm much more mature now, so a lot of people be like, it's just you you got injured now. How do you feel? Almost depressed, but because of the maturity, I mean, there's bigger things in life that can knock you down, and you must appreciate the things that you do still have. So I'm really excited for the next process. So it's me, it's just important to focus on these next 9 to 10 weeks. Bulk myself up as hard as possible, go into this phase because I've been working hard this past 10 weeks with preseason and stuff. But it's important now to have the same focus for this period. And when I do get back, so I'm still on my A game. So there's a couple of exciting things with that. I'm really excited to get back in the next 10 weeks and getting some game time behind my back and, enjoying myself and enjoying my teammates as well. Because, like I said, I'm on my last couple of laps for the Stormers or even rugby as well. So I need to enjoy every session. I need to enjoy every match or every opportunity I do get. And so really excited for that. I've got actually a new member joining the family as well. My wife is due in the next couple of months, in the next 2 months. So really excited for that as well. Like I said, sometimes things happen for a reason. So it's good time for me just to be back home and supporting the wife a little bit. It's tough sometimes supporting her with the crutches. So she's basically more supporting me. but but really excited for that. Yeah, myself, my wife, and my little one Emily is also excited to join a new member to the family. So yeah, there's a couple of things coming up. Really excited from that point of view, and even from my studies point of view and business point of view. So a lot of things that I'm looking forward to. But yeah, it's just also important to appreciate the things around you and not look too far ahead, but prepare for that.
Jeez, so how do we know? Is the boy or a girl, or he coming
Yeah,
pink
so
or blue?
I had a gender reveal. It's pretty weird that you guys don't know. So you guys don't follow me on Instagram. but yeah. So yeah, I've got another blessing coming. So it's gonna be a boy. So Emily will have
Oh,
Emily have a younger brother coming soon. So yeah, we're exciting times. We're still in the planning for that. So we're making sure that when it does get here in the middle of October, that we're all set. Yeah.
cool, man. So just lastly, uh, the Springboks are playing Argentina this weekend. Also, a big match. How's that game going for you?
Yeah, it's a massive game. I mean, looking at the whole fixtures and even the log as well, it's going to be it's a tough championship so far. I mean, anyone can take it at the end of the day. I must say, I think New Zealand will be the top 1 or 2, so they will be the contenders. So for South Africa, the biggest game is kind of this weekend. From experience, when you do go to Argentina, it's not an easy game. It's a tough game playing them back in their own backyard. Experience have showed that. You've seen New Zealand as well struggling a little bit in against them as well. So they're a tough team to beat. Hopefully the Springboks can pull this one through, because if they pull this one through, I think they will win the next one in South Africa, and that's what's going to make it very tough for New Zealand. In terms of points. But yeah, we'll have to see. I'm backing the boys this weekend, but it's going to be a massive, massive game. The guys have, they've got a couple of injuries as well, especially in the midfield with Lukanya out, and other crucial positions. So hopefully those guys will be back, and they can give Argentina a good shot. Because I must say, when you do play them in their own backyard, it's going to be tough.
Okay, prediction quickly of score, because we're going to hold you to it.
Yeah, I must say I'll go with 5 points. I will go South Africa beating Argentina with 5 points. It's going to be a close game. I might say 3, but I'm going to stick with 5. So hopefully South Africa can pull it through in the last couple of minutes. Yeah.
Juan, thanks so much, dude.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome to sit around. We're speaking to Walid Murat. I don't know if you want some tips on how to get the breakdown of the ball without having to get a red card or something. But otherwise, you can say goodbye. So thanks much.
Thanks a lot for having me. I'll see if I'll stay around, because
Right, nice, man.
I need to make good friends with Ali, because he mustn't give me yellow cards or any penalties.
Cool, man. Yeah, so let's go
Thanks,
with Walid. Cool. Mr. Murat, how's it?
Good evening, Miles. Evening, John.
Yeah, dude, thanks so much. How was this weekend?
This weekend was epic. It was a pretty special weekend. It was incredibly busy, long days, but like the experience of just being part of that environment was so special, and yeah, it was just massive for the entire 3 days.
Okay, so what was the highlight?
The highlight was definitely the final. I'm not sure if you watched it, but the rugby that Fiji plays was amazing. Also, when we got to watch the box on, unfortunately they lost. But every time the box comes out to play, even the female sevens, the Cape Town Stadium just erupts, and it's really special moments to have been there and to have been part of it.
Yeah. No, dude, I mean, I'm a rugby fan, but I think there was just too much rugby at Greenpoint Stadium this weekend because last night while I was watching the game, I thought, are these people also going to work today? Because the stadium was still full up until the final.
Yeah, exactly. And Saturday night it was even later. I think the last game started at 10:30 on Saturday night. So just quickly after that, quick sleep, and then we were back there. 8:30 kickoff again Sunday morning, and that's pretty much how it went Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So by the end of yesterday, we were pretty knackered, but actually, just it's so worth it being there, and the experience of being part of the Rugby World Cup sevens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us, so those are the people that don't know Walid. What does Walid do? Of course, refereeing is not his full-time job. But what does Walid do when he's not refereeing?
Look, so obviously I've got a full-time job as well. I work for the Western Cape Education Department in training and development. Um, but on the weekend, or more specifically, back to the sevens, Dylan and I were working closely together as well. Just part of the sideline team that makes sure the subs goes on safely, and all the management on the side, that everything on the field looks clean, and that everything just runs smoothly. Because in sevens there's not a lot of time. It's the coaches are under pressure. We're under pressure to get guys on and off, but it's not just that simple. So it's got to be in a safe, controlled environment when plays stopped and all those kind of things. But during the week, yeah, I'm at the WCED head office. Doing coordinating training for not only the teachers but also for the office-based staff, like the corporate people in the finance department and the HR staff, and then we also do psychosocial training for all employees. Mental health, resilience, those kinds of things is very big on the agenda at the moment in the department. So we're pushing that quite hard.
Okay, cool, dude. So is this weekend probably your highlight of your refereeing career, or has there been something higher?
There has been a few. There's been a few recently where I've been blessed enough to be part of the URC recently, Curry Cup also, which was big for me. But definitely this, I don't think not much else tops this. This is the Rugby World Cup sevens, the biggest sevens event in the world, and 40 teams from all around the world. The people you get to meet. I mean, at one stage you're standing next to Samoa's coach Brian Lima. You get a concussion by just when he looks at you. So yeah, sometimes you gotta think yourself and see, listen, is this really this dude? Yeah, but yeah, special moments.
So, Wally, tell me, so just give me the typical Saturday. So, Saturday morning, they'll kick off around 8:30. In between games, are you on the field the whole time? Are you getting like sushi and a platter with all the food and all the drinks? I saw you busy chilling out on a poofy as well amongst some of the celebrities. How was the Saturday? Yeah?
So our days, we're split into two teams, the sideline teams. So you're on for 4 games or for 4 games. So you get about 12 games a day, basically, if not more. Yesterday was more for me. So it's about an hour or so, but more hour and a half where you on off. And in between that time, you just try to get off your feet as much as possible. We're in the players' lounge. You get some food. We're really, really well taken care of in the players' lounge, with all the way from coffee to meals, pancakes, my favorites. So I was there a couple of times, and then yeah, in between we're just on the happy set and in front of the TV watching the games on the field.
Okay, cool. So, of course, you have something coming up, our Lit Murat Laws of the Game Masterclass. Tell us a bit about that. It sounds exciting.
Yeah, that's part of the Rugby Academy South Africa's their coaching program that they roll out weekly. That I've Junaid's just contacted me, and we've jumped on board with that. I know Joan's also a partner in there. So this weekend I'll be doing a bit of coaching with the youngsters, and it's two groups, and the oldest group's about under 15s. So it's just basically promoting the game, promoting refereeing, and also just educating them a bit about the laws and a bit about the rugby and the basics. Because as you understand as a player, if you understand the laws better, you can be a better player. So that's probably how you can maneuver through the laws a bit. And yeah, so I'm pretty excited to be coaching some youngsters this weekend, and getting some feedback from them, and seeing how it goes.
Oh, okay. So the masterclass is not for other refs; it's for the players to understand the rules.
Yes, basically, and if I can pull a few players, young players out of there, and into refereeing, I'm going to do that, Miles.
Okay, cool. So, of course, we ask all our guests. We have the Springboks up against Argentina this weekend. What are your permutations?
It's gonna be tough. Obviously, they've had a bit of a tough time, but you gotta back the box, eh?
And your score?
Let's say box 14-25.
Okay, we're keeping you to that. I'm making a poster, right? So just remember that. Making a poster with your face.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. So how do young people get involved in refereeing? So kids that are watching and they want to get refereeing, how do they get involved?
Look, by us, it's really simple. You contact the office at Western Province Rugby Referee Society. You can find the number on the website, and then you contact the office. We'll, once they have enough members to run a level one course, and then we'll set it up, and we'll have a level one course. From there, we'll do some assessments where you look. Every year we go through obviously law exams, rugby law exams, and fitness exams. So you got to pass and meet a certain criteria, obviously, but that shouldn't deter you. It should just motivate you to work harder at your fitness and your law exams. And then, yeah, we'll start getting you into games. It'll obviously be maybe a club game or a school game, and then we'll take it from there. We'll obviously
Walid?
also, they get younger referees. We've been asked to pair up with a younger referee this year, and kind of mentor and coach him through the year, which has also been quite cool. Because for me, if I stop refereeing, I would obviously like to get into some coaching or referee coaching at least, and that helps me in the development of that.
Okay. Cool, dude. I mean, thanks so much and keep working on those guns. I see the referee kit is working quite nicely on those guns.
I'm injured at the moment, Miles. Hamstring's gone last week, so right now I can just, the physio just said upper body and cycling, and that's about it.
Dude, thanks so much for joining us and good luck for Saturday.
Thanks a lot, Miles. Thanks for having
Okay,
me.
cool. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, so that was Walid. So that was actually a really cool conversation with Joan de Jong. And then, of course, with Walid, I would have wanted Joan to ask Walid a few questions. That was super exciting. So, any sports events, we've received a few over the weekend, and that is one. I think a few people sent me some golf days, but I just couldn't get it posted up in time, but I'll post it on my page. So there's a Super Rugby Classic between Young Peoples and Vineyards. It's actually, I spoke to the guy today. It's actually a fun day. You can go. Apparently, there's going to be things for kids to do. So go support. I mean, this is also fundraisers for these local teams. And then go support them on Saturday. So this weekend, we've got quite a lot of stuff happening. Cricket is up and running. The Lions are playing the Blow Biller. So the URC is also starting. In the Blow Biller, we've got a lot of Paul and Wellington people playing there. Kurt Lee is there. Cornel Hendricks is there. And this year, Zach Berger is there. There's so many people there. So we'll catch up more on Monday about that. And then, that's most of the sport for the weekend. I think the last thing is that what's her name? Shannon Bartlett went for trials to represent South Africa at New Zealand World Series. So she went for trials last week, and we're waiting for the final team. So hold thumbs for Shannon Bartlett, because if she's selected for South Africa, she goes to New Zealand at the end of October for the World Series in New Zealand. So that's super cool. Guys, thanks so much for joining. It was actually a very cool show. Unfortunately, Dean is ill, so he's going to join us next week. But any sport, any fixtures, any events, sports related, any news, let us know. You can send it to us. We'll be here every Monday at 7 p.m. For your news of Paul Wellington, people doing what they do. And then, of course, lastly, thanks to our sponsor, Curriculum Consult. They do health and safety here in Paul and Wellington. So, we have to have a sponsor to run the show here. So if you need any health and safety things, that's the company to use in Paul. So goodbye, and we'll see each other on Monday, 7 p.m. next week. Bye-bye.